Previously, in Breaking Point.
Aidan, please tell us, how does it feel to be on the verge of getting behind the wheel for your very first race?
I feel like a little kid. I look around and I'm surrounded by my heroes.
And tell me about Casper Ackerman. How is that relationship coming along?
It wasn't my fault.
Well, whose fault was it then?
He tried to stop them from signing you. Didn't want to play babysitter. We all feel sorry for you, mate. You never stood a chance with him.
I had a call this morning from Christian Horner. You're being watched.
You know what his problem is, don't you? Thinks you're getting too old.
You want respect, you give respect. That's how it works.
How about you give me a little respect?
How about you earn it first? I'm done.
You what?
I'm retiring.
Why didn't it work out between you two?
He's on more money than me,
What? He didn't want me on the team.
didn't I? And you thought I was past my best.
So none of this is true.
There's always gossip in the paddock. And ever since he's arrived, there's been one man at the center of it all. I want us to push for fourth. I want us to beat Butler. And I want that seat to go to you.
So Alfa Romeo potentially on track to really upset AlphaTauri here. Butler's on Ackerman. Down the inside he goes, and they've hit each other. Butler into the barrier, and that looks to be the end of the race for him. The Dutchman looks to be continuing and...
It's great to see him still in this fight, Crofty.
Good return, Aiden. What about Casper?
We let Aiden pass.
Let Aiden pass.
We did it.
We did it. Have you seen the crash yet?
Butler's okay?
Bruised ego, perhaps.
2022, a new era of Formula One. An overhaul of the technical regulation marks the first major update to the sport for several years, but it's not only the new cars that are turning heads down in the paddock.
What was it like bringing a brand new team to the F1 grid?
You know, the first time you see a car, your car, with your branding, your name on it, in an official race, alongside Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, that's what it's all about.
You make it sound like a dream come true.
If only.
When did you first get a sense of what was in store for Connor Sport?
2022 season, straight out of the box. The drivers were always going to clash. That was a calculated risk. But the car had problems.
We're midway through the Miami Grand Prix. It's been a cracking race so far, and it's all up for grabs.
Absolutely, Crofty. Some fantastic driving here today, especially, I have to say, from Aiden Jackson. I don't think I've ever seen the Connor Sport car being put through its paces quite like this.
This is a team, Connor Sport, that have got a lot to prove this season, but Jackson might just be the man to do it.
Here we are then in Breaking Point 2, we have to finish the race. Although I would have liked to see what happens at the start of the race, as we're 5 rounds in already here in Miami. But as it says, apparently the car's been unreliable in the cutscene that you've just watched. Let's get into the racing now. We've got DRS on Sonoda. Apparently DRS is meant to be very overpowered in this year's F1 game. And overall, playing this game for a couple hours already today, it feels a lot better than the last game. The last game, you just got so much wheel spin, spinning out in every corner that possible. And you can see there also new lock-up animations, Schumacher and Alonso ahead of us. We're on the soft tyre in the Connor Sport car. And we've now got DRS on Schumacher and Alonso. We're going to see, can we make a move down into the final few corners of the racetrack. We cannot make a move, and that is very close to the two cars. And now coming out of the final few corners, using a little bit of curb, not too much. What I found on this game though is the controllers, on controller at least, is very Oh, we're going past both of them though. The controller, it vibrates so much. I put it down to like 30 about in the settings, and it still absolutely feels like it's gonna like vibrate and break my controller. Like, especially in Qatar, I don't know if that was just those curbs, but those were murder. But anyways, them getting on the curb a bit too much there, and Schumacher might look to come back at us. So he'll have DRS down the straight, and of course DRS is very overpowered. If you have this game, tell me what you think about it in the comments, and if you've played Breaking Point 2, tell me what you think about it in the comments. I've only played chapter 1 and 2 because that's what I've recorded so far, but I will be uploading more chapters later on, maybe even not tomorrow but the next day, the 15th. So then, lap 7 of 14. Our priority was to finish the race. What our objective is to finish the race. We've got Norris and Bottas ahead of us. One thing I will say is that I put it on challenging because, well, you know, get used to the game. But it feels very easy. So I might try move it up to hard, but I don't know how difficult hard will be. But now we're going to look to get past Norris, but the straight line speed is too much. But he's moved over to the inside. And we've now got the slipstream off Bottas, but we brake a lot earlier, so we don't go into the back of Bottas, and Norris is actually making the move on the inside of Valtteri Bottas. We try to get a better line in, but we don't. But we've actually gotten the power a lot earlier than Norris, and we're on the inside. We almost touch tyres, but Norris keeps the position with the DRS. Oh, that is contact. Who's coming in through the pit lane? It is... I don't know who it said that was, but we've gained another position from it, and that makes us up into P10 though, and Bottas has actually got away just a bit with the little bit of contact that me and Norris had going through the first very fast chicane. But we are now gaining on Bottas, and he's only got Ocon a few seconds, well, not even a few seconds, 1.4 seconds down the road from us, so he doesn't have DRS as we're very close to him, but it's very close for Bottas, as I think it's within 4/10 of not getting DRS. At the top you can see, but we've got DRS on Bottas now going down the back straight. We've got DRS. It's very OP in this game. We've also got a little bit of overtakes used, but we have sent it down round the outside of Valtteri Bottas. But then if you have seen the trailer for Breaking Point, I know what happens next. But lap 8 of 14, Ocon is just ahead of us though. So let's try to see if we can get him. 2 laps later, and it's lap 10. We're still in the same position. Ocon still ahead of us. It is very close though. Bottas does have DRS. Hamilton has now been overtaken.
I'm losing power! Why am I losing power? Copy that, we see it, we're looking into it. Okay, I'm afraid you're going to have to retire the car, please, Aiden. Retire the car. You're joking! I'm sorry, Aiden. Pull over now, please. Pull over now. This is getting ridiculous.
And that's agonising for Jackson. Just a few laps left to go, and he's out of the Miami Grand Prix.
With every race, the car looks like a constant problem for Connor Sport. It must be devastating for the drivers.
Confirmation as the car comes to a halt. The Connor Sport's Aiden Jackson won't be seeing the checkered flag today, but it looks like his teammate will. Jackson's DNF puts Devon Butler in a position where he might just be able to secure some points for Connor Sport.
Aiden's out. Yep, engine problem, I'm afraid. Good job you got me. All right, Devon, don't push it too hard. We cannot risk losing both cars here. It's in the bag, mate. All okay, Aiden? Yeah, how's Devon doing? Yeah, he's doing all right, mate. He looks like he's going to bring home some points for the team. Good for him.
Well, Aiden Jackson has a mechanical failure in our first race. Frustration and engine issue forces Connor Sports' Aiden Jackson to retire from the Miami GP. Only a few laps left of the Grand Prix.
Did you not see what happened out there today?
Aiden, I agree with you 100%. We are doing everything we can. I know the car is not perfect, but...
Andreo, it's every race. Do you know how I look losing easy points like this?
Knock. Sounds like there's a right show going on in here. What am I missing?
Not now, Devon.
Aiden and I were just discussing issues with the car.
Again? I thought that was all in hand. I had no problems today. Smooth. You know what they say? A shoddy workman always blames his tools. mate. You can look at my setup data anytime you want. I've told you that. It might help.
And I've told you before, it's not a setup issue. The problem is...
Jackson, that was the problem with the 2022 season. Ask anyone. I mean, at the end of 21, everyone thought Aiden was going to be signed by one of the big three. But, guess they couldn't reach an agreement, so we both signed for Connorsport.
And do you think that affected Aiden?
That's no secret. Now, for that 22 season, Jackson was a nightmare.
That doesn't make anything better. How annoying can you be? Oh well. It is, well, yeah, looking at the news, uphill struggles at Connorsport. From rival to comrades? Don't think so. But now we're getting a call.
Hey, I wanted to give you a heads up. Now look, the crew has shared the latest telemetry data with us.
Fine, but I don't think it would tell me anything I don't already know.
Just humor me, okay? I'd like to go through it. Let me know if anything jumps out. I'm keen to iron out these problems as quickly as possible for you.
Sure thing. Thanks, Andrea.
No thanks needed. I've got your back, Aiden. Remember what I said when you joined the team. I won't let you down. Ackerman wouldn't let me hear the end of it.
Yeah, sounds like Casper. You know he told me the same, right? It's just tricky, what with the car and Devon poking his nose in any chance he gets.
There is a lot going on for sure, but we're a team. We'll get there. I'll have a word with Devon. Tell him to give you some space, both on and off the track, okay?
Yeah, alright. Good luck with that.
There you go then. Call with Andreo, I think his name is. But you can see in the background we have emails from him and Devon Butler's father. Chapter 2, Connorsport's maiden season continues to be marred with inconsistency, but the team principal, Andrea Connor, remains hopeful that the luck will start to change as the paddock heads to Montreal. Here we're now introduced to being Andreo. So we are not only Devon Butler, well, we haven't been Devon Butler yet, not only Aiden Jackson, but we can be Andreo as well. So we can become the boss of the team. So the one you've been seeing starting at the very start of the video, and we've just been Aiden Jackson complaining to, we can basically just do department events like it is my team, but we're actually like a manager kind of thing. So this is about some random fans. We're just gonna say if we're confident or not, because they're saying that the team's not performing well, and somehow Latifi and Stroll will beat us. Like, what kind of world is that? How is Latifi gonna beat us? Unless we crash. But most Devon Butler thing you'll ever see, he was on a stream and he wants to do a factory tour. No thank you. Why would I let you do that? Oh yes, so here we have our secret department area. This is crazy, lads. It shows, right? This is how bad the car is. Here's our test engine. It's just blown up. That is amazing. Wow. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed the stream, guys. Yeah, no, we're going to be quickly declining that one. But imagine your driver walks in with the camera and is like, "Hi guys, welcome back to the stream. We're going to be going through a whole factory. Here you can see our concept car. Here you can see our upgrades for next season. Here you can see everything." Yes. No thank you. Please go away. Well, that was our duties then as Andreo. No, we can check the news in that. Continuing car troubles at Connorsport. Well, that is true, isn't it? You can't really say anything. Oh, we've got a call from Devon.
Just going over those last-minute strategy changes you sent over.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear, whatever happens out there today, I get pit priority, yeah?
Well, we'll see how the race develops. If you need priority, you'll get it. But I can't go into the race with that on the table.
Look. We all know Jackson's not pulling his weight. Now, if you want the points, I need to make sure he's not going to get in my way. Do you get me?
Talked about this. Give Aiden some space. It's not about you getting in the way of each other. It's about everyone pulling together. Racing as a team.
Of course. Yeah, so, pit priority, yeah? All right, ciao.
Well, there you go then. A call with Devon about strategy and getting in the way of Aiden Jackson. Aiden Jackson is in 15th in the standings. Chapter 2. With several laps remaining, Aiden Jackson pushes on as he hopes to secure some much needed points for Connor Sport at the Canadian Grand Prix.
Into turn 2 we go now. Butler comes out of the pit lane. Jackson is right there with him. This is dicey, Ant. Neither one of these two wants to give way.
This would have been a lot cleaner if Jackson had just let him go. He's just not giving him an inch.
They continue onwards, still wheel to wheel, almost touching there as well, as we head down the straight towards the next chicane. Nothing to separate either car, and through the chicane we go. And now Jackson sends them both off the track, and Butler over a curb. That looked nasty.
And I do believe that one of their cars is damaged here, Crofty. I think it's Butler.
Damage, Ant, but also they've lost places too.
Unbelievable and totally unnecessary as well.
Well, one damaged car, places now to make up. What a complete mess that was.
What was that? Where did he even think it was going to go?
Okay, calm yourself down. We'll look at it in the debrief later, but right now I want you to go and get those places back. Come on, let's go.
You just felt that was inevitable then. From literally breaking point 1 up till now, they have collided at last. Aiden Jackson and Devon Butler. It was literally not even necessary, but we are looking to continue on to get up into possibly 13th, but a bonus of top 10. We're going down the inside of Schumacher, a very risky move. And we do get it done then through the chicane. Our next driver is Nicholas Latifi, the one that everyone was saying they're going to lose out to. Somehow Latifi's ended up in P15, beating us and Butler, Schumacher. Like, how is this? An Aston actually, no, this is 2022. So that is realistic. But going into the chicane on lap 12, well, there's quite a few chicanes, isn't there? But we're going into the third, I don't even know, second chicane. We are on lap 12, we're getting closer to Nicholas Latifi. As I said, we're probably going to put the difficulty up after this video, so things will be more difficult to do. But we're using our ERS and we're in the slipstream of Nicholas Latifi. We might get the overtake. This is the only time in F1 23 you'll hear the name Nicholas Latifi. And we do not make the overtake going into the wall of champions. Getting, well, not very close, but someone is getting close and you can see some dirt being kicked up. His teammate then is right in 13th. How's that make sense actually? Because Ocon's in 14th, Latifi in 5th. Okay. Oh right, no, don't worry. We're making the move though on the Canadian and possibly even on the Frenchman of Ocon. No, we do not get that, but we do overtake Latifi. I don't know why I was looking at Albon in P13 because that's our target, isn't it? But we're going down the inside of Ocon now into, would you call this a chicane? I don't really know. It's quite a kind of just like two corners. But lap 14, we're looking to overtake Albon then on the inside of the chicane. Don't really know what these corners are called, but we're getting close to the walls. And our next target is Norris in P12 and Guan Yu Zhou in P11. They're very close together. Of course, our bonus is P10, so whoever's in P10, we're coming for you. It's an Aston Martin. It's probably a Lance Stroll, I think, probably, because, well, there's a Haas and an Aston Martin all the way at the back. And with the way everyone was hyping up Lance Stroll, better be him. But now we've got an overtake on Norris on lap 14 at the end of it. And going on to 15, we're eyeing up Zhou Guan Yu to possibly go for 11th place and getting one step closer to our 10th place that we need for a bonus. and the points here will probably make up for the crash, although it won't be said in the cutscene, but it would, I think. But we do get the overtake on Guan Yu Zhou, and now Charles Leclerc's out of the session, so that is P10, everyone. We have got the bonus, and that sees us up into P10, but Lance Stroll is currently in P9. I would rather want to beat him, as earlier you saw we had the Canadians saying that he was so good. Let's just beat him then. We're going for the overtake with DRS. We've got no battery, but slipstream hopefully from Gasly, but no, that's going to Stroll. But as we force him out a little bit, we do brake later, not late enough to hit the back of Gasly, thankfully. And now we've got DRS on Gasly, and we might be able to make the overtake onto lap 17, fastest lap, and we do, going down the inside of Pierre Gasly, and we do get the fastest lap as well. So lap 17, Gasly and Stroll are fighting each other behind us, and hopefully we can pull away on the end of laps 14, 17. We're going to overtake Valtteri Bottas for P7 then. So there we go then, into the chicane for Wall of Champions. Tsunoda just ahead of us. We got DRS again. Going on to lap 18, everybody. It's the last lap of the Grand Prix and the last lap of this race and episode, so that makes sense. But we're going down the inside once again on the second chicane. We're not getting very close to the wall, but now out of the last, the hairpin, we are fine, I hope, because we got 5/10 gap to Tsunoda. We could use the last little bit of our, oh my god, that's very close. He just closed like a maybe 6/10 gap down to 0, and now through the Wall of Champions, and we do keep our position. He finishes 4/10 behind us. That is how crazy the DRS is in the end. P6 should be enough to make up for our crash with our teammate earlier in the race, but it's now the end. And if you want to see Chapter 3 and 4, will be up probably later this week. But Chapter 2, nothing ever changes. Jackson and Butler's rivalry from the past 2 seasons seems to be alive and well, even when they're teammates. Their unwillingness to cede position to each other at the Canadian Grand Prix is a bad look for Connor Sport. Like I just said, if you want to see 3 and 4, will be up later this week. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.